Hey Hilltop, it's Pastor Fred. I need to talk a little bit louder here because obviously I'm working really hard here at Asbury Seminary. The seminary flew us down to Houston, and we're right now doing some very important homework at the Houston Astros game, enjoying a game against who we playing tonight, the Athletics, Oakland A's. And we just hit a home run. It looks like we're going to win, but that's beside the point. The reason we're in Houston is because Houston is about 6.9 million strong in population. About 1 million of those people have been were not born. Oh no! There's hardly anybody in the park, man, but you notice they're here when they did something well. 1 million of the people of Houston are born outside the United States. There's about 215 languages spoken in Houston, 300 different ethnic groups represented in Houston. And so Asbury wanted to bring us down here so that we could begin to understand what it means to be a church in the midst of a pluralistic, multicultural, multi-ethnic society. This is, as you can see, the world is getting more and more compressed, and all sorts of peoples are moving all around the world. And so how do we be the church to people like that? God, they're getting a lot of hits. And so the first night we were here, we experienced 2 worship services. The first one was with Mercy Street, and they have a recovery ministry working with people on the streets, people who have addictions and things. It's a service just for them. And then the next morning we went to Wilcrest Baptist Church. This is probably the most multi-ethnic church in America. It's a very humble, not a really large church, but probably about, I don't know, maybe 600 in worship. And during that experience, they have about 50 language groups represented. Can you imagine people of all tribes and tongues worshiping together in a joyful environment? It was probably the best worship experience I've had in my life. It was just really neat to see what it must look like around the throne of God when His kingdom comes. And so we've been dealing with these questions, learning about how to be prophetic in this changing environment. I hope you can hear me. We worshiped in 5 different churches in the last few days, and have been visiting other church planting ministries and churches that are specifically targeting people. One church, for example, targets sort of the urban hipster, and they're called Ecclesia. And what else did we go to see? We've been visiting with people across the Houston.
We got to see Joel Osteen.
Yeah, we did go to Lakeview where you got to see Joel Osteen. We got to see how the church is responding to such a changing world. You know, as people come here, it's our responsibility now to be a light to the nations. No longer being sent, but now people being sent to us, and we need to be God's people for God's world. That's exciting. I've been really privileged to be here. We spent one night on the street with a pastor of the streets. He goes out looking for people who are in prostitution, who are caught in drugs. And if he can notice them and get them off the street with 1 year, the success is high. But if he can't, they'll probably die in the street. So just a great experience. Hey, I'm going to see you this Sunday. I'm going to put this on Facebook so that you know what I'm doing this week. But I'll be in church on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.